their fists. Bonnie and Mandy. Make sure you're always watching, or you could miss it if they ever kiss. Those two wildflowers did what they had to do, and now they're free. And it's gonna be as wild as it can be, with no apology. Bonnie, Scalisi, and Mandy Jones. Wildflowers. Wildflowers.
Welcome. You're looking live at the Wildflowers. I'm Mandy Jones, the comedian, and as always, next to me is the beautiful.
Hi, Bonnie Scalisi. How are you, everybody? Thank you for tuning in.
This is the 45th episode of this show, and it's July.
Holy crap!
I know, holy guacamole.
And that doesn't include the when we were Three's Company.
I know. That does not even include our previous title. And still making mistakes. 45. Well, it's closer to like almost 100 episodes now, which is insane. Bonnie, you want to tell them what the topic is for tonight, even though the topic is always very loose and wide open. Everything but except politics. I want it on my screen button, so no politics. Person off the screen there.
We'll just scream out loud. Ah! So
I'll just do one of these.
The topic is life is a party, because you'll find out why when we introduce our guests in less than a minute. We're going to introduce them. But it has to do with life is a party. So as we talk, you'll figure it out, and you can tell us what's going on with you guys. So we had something very special happen on Monday. You want to tell everybody what happened on Monday?
Yeah, it seems like it was yesterday because
I
the
know
way this week goes. But we had a really good time. Bonnie and I put on a free comedy show at G's Club in West Hempstead. Peaches Rodriguez headlined the show. Stephen Rocco Perillo, who is just as joyous and peachy as Peaches, hosted the show. Esther Forrester, Kristen Tinsley, Will Romero, Bonnie, myself. Who am I forgetting? Oh, we had Bruce Jacobs, I was going to say, and Howard Stern, and Howard Newman. They both showed up, and since they were the two comics that showed up, they both got bonus spots. So if you're a comic, you should come down on August 2nd. We're doing another free comedy show. And if you are a comic, you get your chance to put your name in the hat for a chance to perform. Or maybe things will work out that we'll just put you up. Hey, Jan Brenner. Hey, Aunt Patty. Bonnie, you want to say who else is tuning in?
Hi, Peter Najek is tuning in. Robin was saying something really funny. She goes, I am my own party. I love that, Robin. You are your own party.
Well, fun is what you bring with you.
David Lange is watching. He said, happy Wildflowers Wednesday. Hey, Wednesday and Wildflowers both begin with a W. I like that. And Patty Marie, of course. I think you mentioned her. Jan Brenner, how is Vegas? I believe you're in Vegas right now. How's that doing? Bill Hansen, how are you? Amanda Louise Long, how are you? She's saying, hello, lovely ladies.
Hello.
Thank you for tuning in. So we're just going to plug some things real quick, and then we're going to get started. I am hosting an open mic at Coasters tomorrow, Coasters in East Meadow. So if you are a comedian and you want to practice, we don't usually do it on Thursdays, but since we had the show on Monday, that's why when we have a show, then it's on a Thursday.
Oh, okay.
It's very hard to.
Yeah. It's
I'm
like
running it and I can't figure it out.
You have to be part of the secret society of comedians to figure out what it is.
Yes.
All our stuff, because we're always the first Monday of the month, except July. We're the second Monday of the month.
Yeah,
it's
very
confusing. The month was a federal holiday.
Right.
Right.
Bill Hansen is saying hi to you. Jan Brenner, Arizona, near Phoenix. Okay. Thank you, Jan. And I'm going to be at the patio at Governor's this Saturday. So if you are, if you like being outside, which I don't, buy a ticket to that. I would appreciate that.
Glenn and I actually went to the patio last year
How
for
was
that
it?
brief
I've
moment
never even
when it
seen
was
it.
open. But the way that the way that it's a patio and enclosed, it actually wasn't too hot or cold. It was
really?
actually, and we were covered. I don't remember if it rained or anything, but we were dry.
Oh, good.
And the service was good. It was honestly, it was a really nice time. We happened to get a really nice summer night when we went. Well, it was probably, I think I want to say it was July last year, because that's when they were open for a brief moment.
Yeah, and that they let them go out. They let them
Right.
open and then they shut them down
Yeah,
again.
and it
And they
was-
built that whole place for that,
I wanna
and then they shut them down again.
I want to say it
That
was
was
around
crazy.
July.
Taz is tuning in. How are you, Taz? And Frank Peters. All right, so should I? You want to plug your show?
Oh, and the only other thing close coming up, after August 2nd, the free show, we have August 7th, which is a Saturday, 8 p.m. At Hopwin's Brewery, which is apparently a really cool brewery. Bonner,
I loved it.
Performed
I
down
thought it was so
there,
cool.
what was that, a couple weeks ago?
Yes.
So that'll be August 7th, 8 p.m. show.
And our headliner, August 2nd, is Joe DeVito, who's a personal favorite of mine.
Oh, we didn't even say that. Yeah. He's
and Mandy is going to be the host.
Yeah, just so we have more time for comics.
So, should we get to our guest?
Yeah, let's do this.
Jan Brenner's like, we're having a cold snap. It's only 102 degrees. You know what? When we complain about the heat, I guess we should shut up, right, Jan? So anyway, our next guest is a DJ, a host, a comic, the very entertaining John Piazza.
Hey, everybody.
Woo!
Hey, guys.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So we met you as a comic, but you don't identify as a comic
Yeah.
first.
In 2021, who identifies as anything?
You
You can identify as this cup.
I even have my own bathroom now.
So you but you said comic was further down the list. We met you as a comic, but you're not primarily a DJ, but you identify as a DJ.
Yeah, so...
That's why, thus the title, Life is a Party.
Yeah,
You
life
didn't
is a party. They bring a 53-year-old, 28-year married guy. Yeah, life is a party.
Well,
Ain't no
20
party
years,
in my house.
I want to know about that.
Yeah,
I want
sure.
to know how that...
Sure, we
how,
get into everything.
But go ahead. But start with the DJ.
Okay,
How did
so-
you become a DJ?
So when I was about 15 years old, got a set of turntables. My brother and I, we just moved out from the Brooklyn-Queens border. Breakdancing was hot. Records were hot.
Can you break dance?
We were really good.
Oh my
we
God.
were really
Wow.
good. Excellent. I battled the New York City Breakers, like the real New York City
Yeah.
Breakers. We used to get paid to perform doing it. Really, that's a whole other thing. But yeah, we were damn good. And I got into the DJing. And then my brother and I, we were nice guys. We were good. And we had a lot of little girlfriends. And they would ask us to do their Sweet 16s. And we would do their Sweet 16s. We didn't even have transportation. So my mom and dad would drop us off with their old station wagon and pick us up after the party.
Oh, wow.
So I've been DJing that long. Went from playing records to CDs to now everything is all MP3 and files and downloads, which makes it easier. But technology is my struggle. But because I have older sons that are musicians, they help a lot with letting me obtain some of the technology and programs and things like that.
Oh, yes, so that
Yeah.
your kids help you. Well, a couple of people are saying some things. First of all, Robert Soleil is saying hi. Hi, Robert.
What's up?
And Stevie GB is tuning in, and he said, Johnny and I got fired from an over 55 community gig. So maybe you'll tell us that
I would
story
love
in a
to.
minute.
It's Stevie, not me. But
Jimmy
okay.
Jimmy Quinn is watching, and I just found out. We
Shaggy.
just found out recently that he was my Facebook friend.
Yeah, he's my
And-
long lost uncle.
Yeah, it's a small world. So as far as that's how you got into DJing, and like then from there you just grew into
So,
comedy and you did other
A little
things.
both, I'll tell you. So with the DJing, that's still my love. And right now in the world of DJing, I'm like very popular on the island DJ, like really big. I started then, and then I'll tell you about the comedy too. Going on and on, getting a good reputation, mixing records. My hands are really like just attached to my mixing board, like any musician would play a guitar or anything else. I can't
You're
play
one with the board.
I am one
And
with
Patty
the board.
Marie says you're really cute.
Oh, thank you. All right, I appreciate that. Thanks. So
Handsome was the word she
I'll
used.
take it.
Handsome.
Whatever I get, I'll get. Anything. Thank you. I'll take any of
And
that.
Stevie GB is saying, yeah, he's a great MC.
Thank you so much. Stevie and I got a lot
Stevie,
of history
congratulations on your show with Paul Bond. I think that's amazing.
Another
And
great
Robert
comic,
loves
too.
your glasses.
Thank you, Robert.
So going with that, then I started working with bands, and I met some really great people with the bands. I've been working with guys from Stomp the Yard, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, big deals in the music business. They started bringing me on events. I've actually got to play for celebrities as big as Michael Strahan, Michael J. Fox, Eli Manning, like all out in the Hamptons. Then I became like a Hamptons DJ pretty often. And that really gets your reputation going when you're a Hamptons DJ. Anyway, with that being said, it developed into a very good career, which I love. I love mixing records. I found my niche in old school. Old school music is me. So freestyle, acid house, club music, stuff like that. That's really my niche. I can do any of it, but I really get hired now to do that type of music. So they'll do throwback Friday nights at beach places. Like I'll be at Pops August 6th in Island Park. August 20th, I'll be there. We just did 1,500 people at the Salt Shack.
I saw that on your Facebook page.
We just did
That's
1,000
so cool.
people at Tobay Saturday night.
Oh, wow.
I'm rolling with Vinyl Revival right now. That's the band I'm working with now. It's really a great mix of us together. I have so many dates I can throw out. I don't want to bore the audience with that. But
Is there somewhere online that they can find you that's centralized with all this information?
Yeah, sure. You can definitely always go on my Facebook page. I post everything. Like I'm annoying on Facebook with everything I'm posting.
Well, that's us too.
Yeah, but
you gotta be.
That's the way you do it. Social
Because
media.
people are like, when will she show? It's like, well, it gets
Yeah, I
married.
saw that. So,
Yeah.
are you kidding me? I've been promoting it for 6 months.
I know. Kathy's like, where's my invite? I'm like, are you kidding me? I literally told you to your face and inboxed you and messaged you and told you 10 times.
And a lot of people tell you, yeah, I'll see you there, I'll see you there. And then I'm like, you never came. The ones who tell you the most that they're coming never come.
That's true.
And
You
then
know?
there's always someone at a left field that you're like, oh,
Oh my God, I
thank
had
you.
friends come from Westchester the other night, just
that's great.
and I'm like, and then I'm like, listen, you can't drive home, come and stay at my house.
Right.
No, I didn't want them at my house.
But you have to kidnap them because they saw you.
Yeah, they coming out to see me to show and support, and that's the biggest thing with this business: comedy, music,
It's all
support each other.
It's all
You have to-
intertwined.
You have to support one another.
Yes.
That's the
Yes.
key. Share your friends' pages, share your friends' posts. Tell people, hey, this they're great. You'll enjoy it. That's how it works. You gotta. Don't be a hog and just be a one-way street. Share the damn posts,
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Because people don't want to just go to comedy shows. They want to
Right, they
see
wanna mix
music.
it up.
They want to do a different thing.
Well, that's why Frank Macri and I from Comedy Inc. What we started to do is bring music to our shows. So when we do a Comedy
cool.
Inc. show, we always have music before the show. We would bring on a musical act. So Vinyl Revival, the band I'm rolling with now, is bigger than I am now. But when they were first getting started out, we brought them up to the Loft up in Belmore, and it was one of their first nights. But now they're as big as the 70s band, Mean Machine. Like, they're huge. They only get Saturday and Friday night bookings. So you help each other. And like I said, like you said, not just people don't just want one thing. So you give them a nice, diverse way to get a night out. Makes everybody happy.
Absolutely. Patty Marie wants to know, did you ever do Motown?
Oh, I love Motown. Oh, absolutely.
Okay, there you go, Patty.
Oh, yeah,
Do you
Patty.
dress up ever? Do you go in costume?
It's my least favorite thing to do is, like, if I get a Halloween gig or something. Yeah, I mean, if I'm kind of forced to play the part, I'll do it. I'm a ham, but I don't like to be dressed up or gimmicky at this point anymore. My comedy career started
I
out
can see you
as
as like
gimmicky.
an Elvis.
But no, I hire guys to be Elvis now. No more Elvis. When I first started comedy, so this will get into my comedy segue. Thank you for whoever's asking that question. Back in about 1992, I believe it was, there was a gentleman by the name of Richard Dixon. Now, before my time, Richard Dixon had the old White House Inn. Stevie GB and some comics that have been around a long time will tell you about this. On Long Island, Richard Dixon started Eddie Murphy, Seinfeld, Rosie O'Donnell, Richie Minervini, Rob Bartlett, big names in comedy. Just huge killers in comedy. Jackie Martling, another one. They were all Dixon comics back in the late 80s. I came in 1992, and Richard Dixon gave me a beautiful platform to perform at this place on 107 in Massapequa. I was a very hacky, gimmicky comic. I mean, like the worst.
I've seen you perform comedy. I think you're very good.
Well, I'm not hack at this point, I hope. I'm talking.
Are you talking when you first started?
Like 30 years, right?
Okay.
So I don't want to do the math. But so at that point, I mean, I was literally bringing a little chest, and I had like all things like almost like Carrot Top would do. Then I was very racist in today's standards, doing all these Chinese bits and all this stuff.
Now you get eggs thrown at you now.
Oh, you can't. If I do it, they'll wait outside for me. I can't do it anymore. I actually literally had to stop doing that. But that's how the comedy for me became part of my life. But I actually developed a very good friendship with people in the business. And I have to thank John Blenn. I think pretty much everybody.
Oh, yeah, I know who John is.
John Blenn was so supportive of my career.
He's very supportive of everybody. Yeah.
He was writing for Good Times Magazine. He would put me, always say something nice in Good Times. And John Blenn still comes to events for me. Came Saturday night when we had Jeff Norris headlining in Valley Stream. John Blenn and Joni just surprised us and showed up and came and took great pictures. Just a wonderful.
That's so great.
I saw them.
People.
I did the class with Peter Bales not too long ago. Was it like 3 months ago?
Maybe even less than that.
Maybe and he was there,
Great guy.
taking photos.
Yeah.
So now
very supportive.
when he has his you know, his things where I think they do like Playhouse stuff. You guys got to go to it. Show up, get a ticket, go support your friends. Like I was saying, it works. You know, it's universal. We all got to help each other. You know, comes back good to you.
I know it really does. What goes around.
They're all talking about the White House Inn.
That was the White House Inn.
Okay.
Then it became. Yeah. Then it became the Navigator. Yeah.
It became a different name of a club.
That's where I got to meet like Kevin James. Not that he wasn't a regular there on Wednesdays, but Richard Minervini was. And I don't know if you know who Richard Minervini. Richie Minervini.
I've never met him, but Tugboat always talks
the
about
Godfather,
him.
The Godfather of Long Island comedy. He then became the owner of East Side Comedy, and I happen to be. Here's another little piece of my history. I was a UPS driver for 31 years.
Oh wow.
I used to deliver Richie's house, and he always would say, "Come on down, I'll give you a spot. I'll give you a spot." He didn't have to do that. But because he knew I was starting out in the business, he always gave me an opportunity. I'll never forget Richie Minervini for that. And Richie and Kevin James, they toured together. You know, Richie became Kevin's opening act, which is kind of ironic. But Kevin came down. That's where I started meeting Joey Cola through Richie and guys who really became big. Adam Ferrara, like guys that I'm not on their level. Even to this day, I'm not on their level. You know. Not anywhere near it. I know very much where I am in this business. I'm in a good place, but I'm not a Carrie Carabas. I'm not a Richie Minervini.
So you don't see
I'm
yourself
not a
as
Stevie
a headliner?
Oh, absolutely not. DJ wise, I'm the headliner.
Yeah.
As far as comedy, I love hosting. I love being that warm-up guy.
Yeah.
I can take you from sitting there like this and bring you up, ready to
you have
a good time.
a tremendous, great energy about
Thank you
and a positive aura about you.
It's the comfortable. I'm very comfortable on the microphone in any situation, but that comes from DJing.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be an MC.
So have you ever done a party that was like bombing?
Oh,
like
absolutely.
The people were like falling asleep on the chair and.
100%.
I'm having a party in March, so
So
I'm kind of interviewing him.
Yeah.
Like,
in any business, and it's always the person that hires you that says, "My family's great, everybody's going to be up."
yeah.
You know, and you're using, and we always have like, you know how you have key jokes like that, you know, like this is my surefire. If this don't get them, well, we have songs like that, and you know, if that don't get them, they're not getting up, and you never want to give up. But there have been times where, like, every 2 minutes I'm looking, I'm like, oh my God, I still got 3 hours and 25 minutes to go on this party.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Because music is very short when you start thinking about it in hours like that.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, all right, another 2 minutes, another 2.5 minutes. So long. Is there any songs what are some of your go-to songs that everyone gets up to?
It depends on the type of party. So if you're having a fun party with people, like, let's say 40 and up.
I'm sorry to interrupt,
sure.
but Frank Macri just
Frank
tuned in.
Macri's my
We
buddy.
were talking about you.
Me and Frank have like the best friend and business relation. Like Frank is my buddy. I mean, Frank is like, if somebody's giving Frank some beef, I literally will call him up and be like, yo, bro, you need me to come down? I'm ready. If Frank says, yo, your kid's having a hard time because you need me, I'll get in the car. Like, that's the kind of guy. It could be the middle of the night. And then business-wise, we think the same way, and we're on the same page of, like, you know, what type of show we want to give to the people. We really just want to give them quality shows. So we don't do them as often as the other guys. The other guys, God bless you, you know, you're doing your own thing. Dan Romano's out there, John Butera, Evan Weiss, Stephen Perillo, all you guys that are doing your thing, God bless you. You do it your way. We have no issues. We're happy for everybody that's doing it. We just do our shows a little different, a little more spaced out. We like the bigger venues. That's all. But Frank and I think the same way, you know.
And you can get more people out when it's like that. Like me and Bonnie doing the monthly commitment is more realistic than, okay, every weekend. I mean, we're doing other weekends for other people, but like my husband can't make it to every fucking thing.
I can't do it every week. Forget it.
You know, and it's like a lot that goes into it mentally. It's like preparing for a game.
It's a lot. It's a lot of stress.
You know, and just to have people, you know, so many friends are like, oh, I want to come down. I'm like, don't even give me excuses. Just when you can make it, when you can see one and you show up, you walk in, I'll be surprised.
We're like mellow. We're the mellow people.
Everyone's got shit going on. Like, they have other obligations. They got to go food shopping. They got to get their stuff in order. Like,
absolutely.
But what's funny is then you get the customer or the friend that comes to everything.
Right.
Like, wow, like you come to you know?
Robin is like that.
Cool.
Robin is
That's
such
great.
a
I like that
supporter.
with Robin.
Andrew Friendner is tuning in. He said, hi, I hope everyone is well. And Patty Marie, I think, really likes it. She keeps making different remarks about you.
Okay, Daddy, I'll take whatever I can get. At 53 years old, I'll take whatever I can get.
Well, you look great
you know?
for 53. So Robin's saying Wantagh, but it must be where I am because they're saying they're getting interrupted feed.
Oh yeah,
I think it's you, Robin. It's not
try
us.
leaving my page and going back.
Oh,
into
Gina
it, or I
Conjemi,
said-
Gina Conjemi Coffin is tuning in, and my Facebook friend Harry Flagdrop. How are you? He said, "How are we tonight? How are we doing? We're doing great. We have an
here.
amazing guest.
You guys
John
are great.
Piazza
You
is
guys are great. Thank you.
really renowned DJ and a comedian, and we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of different things. But the topic is life is a party.
Well,
So have you ever thrown a party? What did you have? Did you have a live band? Did you have a DJ? Is your life a party? Like Robin said, her life is a party, and she's not joking. Every night she's out
God bless
going.
her.
She's
yeah,
like,
no, she really does.
yeah, she's
she
a big Street
supports
Fighter.
Everybody.
She's a big Street Fighter fan, and
Street Fighter's great. Oh my God.
Well, Robert Soleil from Street Fighter is watching.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great
Yeah.
band. You know,
They did our theme song.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. That's excellent. I love the musicians, and I give all these live musicians so much respect. And the best part about that is they give me respect. Even though I'm a DJ, they realize like you're creating an energy. I don't just go up there and press play. I have to create energy. And I don't play for 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Like when you do comedy, you have your set. I got to entertain people sometimes for up to 6 hours by myself.
I know. If they're
That's
drinking,
hard.
you might be there a little longer
Sometimes
than
I am.
expected.
Sometimes
It's like there's lingerers.
Sometimes I am, but sometimes I don't even realize where the hours go because once I'm zoned,
Yeah.
and like Frank Macri and other people that have been in my company while I'm spinning and doing it, like I don't even pick my head up, man. Only to look to make sure everybody's dancing. I am zoned, like I am in another world, and I'm just like, all right, now I'm going to trick it up, and I love to use all the tools and the functionalities and just create an energy that people are like, holy shit, like this guy is like the real deal. If you just go up there and press play and then expect to get paid after 4 or 5 hours, and you stand there in between songs like this, they can do that with their phone, man. You're hiring me because I got a wow factor. You need the wow factor at your party, you know?
Yeah.
If you don't want the wow factor and you tell me that, that's fine. If you say, oh no, John, just keep it, we just want good music, you don't have to do all, that's fine going in. But if I'm expected to be a performer, you got to perform, you know?
What do you do when you have a mix of younger people and older people? Do you take requests, or do you try to mix
Of
up the
course,
music?
you always got to take requests. If you
And by the
really
way, Rob,
have to-
now you're getting a compliment from Robin DeVito, who said you can press my button.
Yeah, I don't know.
The two ladies here are hitting on
I
you.
hope my wife is actually watching tonight, just so I can stuff it in her face later. You know?
And author John Piazza said,
my
John,
uncle, you know Uncle Artie.
Yeah.
he said, going to need a bigger hat after your show. His head is getting bigger as you speak. Oh, because all the women are after
You know
him.
Uncle
Yes.
Artie's a very big part of us with Comedy Inc. He always helps me set
He's one of
up.
my Facebook
This
friends.
poor guy does not even. A lot of people think that I'm Arthur John Piazza. I'm not. It's just he shares all of my stuff out of love for me and to be part of what we do.
Yeah.
The poor guy doesn't even get sometimes to eat anything at the job. He does the spotlight. He helps me with all the wiring. That's the stuff people don't get to see. The
Yeah.
production end of it.
Oh yeah.
And that's how Frank Macri and I linked up, is that Frank had a very big fan base. He had a lot of friends. I had a sound system. We met at Paul Barnes Comedy Workshop.
Okay.
We hit it off
I've
together.
been to that too.
That's
yeah,
the greatest.
yeah.
Paul is
That's
just a
great.
wonderful comedian. He's
Stevie
just so
GB was just
talented.
watching. They just put on a right-wing comedy production,
Can't
which
wait to see it.
I'm very happy for them. Could everybody please share the show right now if you're watching?
Yeah,
Press
share
the
away,
share
man.
button
Share
so we can
away.
get John a lot of publicity, because
Thank you.
not that
guys.
he's not busy enough,
I
but
want it. No,
you know,
please,
give
please.
give him the and us.
Yeah.
Press the share button and.
What you girls are doing is wonderful. I think it's really
Oh, thank
great. And
you.
I've seen you early on in open mics, like 3 years ago, and where you developed from back at like Shaker's Pub to what you're doing now. It's like really great. You know, Tony Landolfi, one of your buddies.
Yeah.
you know,
Yes.
Tony was one of the guys in the 90s with me at the old White House, which I watched Tony become a freaking feature headliner act. And he's probably the best, and I've said this before, the best comic that came out in from the 90s out of that place.
Yeah.
He is truly like probably the best one that came out of there. And that includes me. You know, like I don't even consider myself as good as Tony Landolfi. I don't consider myself on that level comedically. I just don't. Those guys are holding it down for 45 minutes, an hour, truly funny, really good, genuine acts, not hacky, really good comics. You know?
He killed when we were at McGuire's.
Yeah.
We were in Terry McNeely's show, and Tony was on right before Terry, and he just killed it.
Oh,
He
yeah.
killed the
Yeah,
room.
my
It was
mom was like,
amazing.
he's got
He's
funny on
really
your show,
good.
but she's like, he is hysterical.
He's
I'm
great.
like, yeah, Mom, why do you think we picked him
great.
for our show? Because he's
Yeah.
freaking hilarious.
And I
He's
watched
out of his
him.
mind.
I watched him go from an open micer. You know, that's how long I've been in this business. And Lindolfi was an open micer. You know, Carrie is like, I always say, man, woman, or child. To me, Carrie, hands down, is the funniest comedian around. Like
She was our guest last week.
I know. Carrie makes.
She bought a cake.
Barrels the
I've been
rooms.
eating the cake all week, and I gained like 5 pounds. Thanks, Carrie.
She's very pretty too. She knocks herself, but she's very pretty.
Oh, she was kept calling herself fat, and she's not
yeah.
fat.
You should have seen Carrie back when she was living in Plain Edge, Long Island, back like in the 90s, you know. Carrie was a Massapequa girl, very, very pretty girl, but very funny, very, very funny. She has barreled rooms for us, for Comedy Inc., for other things that we've done in Smithtown Bay. Frank and I, Macri and I put like things together. Stevie G's another killer. Peach is killed. Everybody put on. Chris Monty, you had him in this chair.
Oh, yeah, he's
You
great.
know, all these guys killed on our shows, just destroyed. And I'm forgetting people like, you know, even Eric Half. I could throw out 1,000 names of all good comics you had here, and they all destroyed on our shows. And I thank all you guys who've been with us doing that. You guys make us look like stars. You really
And actually,
do.
our Capt is one we do have to have on the show. We haven't
Yeah,
had
we
him
Oh
on.
my
haven't-
God.
we haven't
You'll love
had
Eric.
Eric.
Just a
Yeah,
great
no,
guy.
he's a good guy.
Yeah, man.
Oh, Esther is tuning in.
Hi,
and
Esther.
And
I
Nancy
love
Weems.
Esther.
Hi, Nancy Weems.
Hi, Nancy.
Esther said, yes, I felt in her act she shouldn't say she's fat. She's not even close to fat.
No.
Well, I guess everybody, it's their perception of what they are.
Yeah.
But she's doing it to be funny, and it is
Yeah.
funny.
Oh, she's so funny.
She's
truly
very funny.
And, you know, hopefully we all develop to that stage of comedy, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's what we aspire to do, is
Absolutely.
to get that good. Like,
Peach
you know?
is, like, just watching her on Monday, she, like, makes friends with the audience. She literally calls people, she finds out their name and calls them by name.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're part of her act, and it just draws you in.
She's not
she's
just a comic
amazing.
either. She's a dancer. She does
Oh,
the
yeah.
breakdancing
Yeah.
thing.
Multi-talented.
She is the reason why I did the Facebook Live shows during the pandemic. So during the pandemic,
Oh,
for
that
your
was
audience in
amazing.
Toronto, every Friday night, I would set up equipment like you guys have here, turn my house into a studio. I got interrupted a lot, unfortunately, because of copyright. But Peaches is the one who told me, you should do it. And I kind of reinvented myself on Facebook Live for a solid year, just drinking whiskey and playing, you know, old school music. And there were nights where people shared. And the next day I'd look and be like, wow, 2,000 people. It looked like 6 people were watching, but there would be like 2,000 people that tuned in.
Whoa.
Maybe
Yeah.
briefly, maybe, you know, for a little bit. But that was a cool thing. And again, Peaches was a big influence to tell me to do that. And I listened to it. Thanks, Peaches.
Yeah, she's very, very supportive.
And Peter Bales, too, her husband. Great people. Man.
Yeah,
Great
yeah.
people.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, we are in charge of baskets. So
Oh,
for
yes.
this comic who has cancer,
Nelson.
Bob Nelson.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
So Amanda and I are doing the baskets for the fundraiser at Governor's in Levittown on July 22nd. So if you could donate, I know Esther was sweet enough to donate a tennis lesson. Kristen Tinsley was sweet enough to donate her psychic services. If you could donate anything, please send Mandy or I in Messenger what you can, even if it's a basket or anything, liquor, and like something with a theme. Please let us, please help us. So Alex Black is tuning in. Peter Najek, thank you for sharing. He's shared his
Hey,
show.
Peter, thanks so much.
Thank you so
Peter's
much,
a good
Peter.
dude, man. I know
Peter
Peter.
is very,
Peter's a very
very
good
hi-
dude.
Hi, Alex. So, as far as, did you ever have a party that you just couldn't get it to?
Yeah,
together?
that happens, you know.
When
and
you,
you go
maybe
home,
when you were first starting, or
You know, it's funny. You could go home high as a kite, floating on air from anything, either the comedy or the music, or you can go home feeling like, why are you in this business? And even after 35 years of mixing records and people with the reputation, with the DJ reputation, I can go home feeling like beating myself up, you know. There's times where I've had an equipment failure at the worst
God.
possible time.
that,
You know, but we're pros, and I have a legit business, we're licensed and everything. So we always bring backup gear, but it takes a minute to reinstall it, you know, and there's an interruption, so it interrupts the flow. 9 times out of 10, it will bother me more than it would bother somebody at the party. They don't know actually what's going on, but those things will live with me for a few days. And I have a very thin skin. You know, that's one thing about me. I bruise very easily when it comes to you know,
You
making
do
people
your
happy.
best.
I'm a pleaser.
Yeah.
I like people to be happy. If you
Yes.
hired and you're spending your money, I want you to be happy. So being a pleaser, I go home beat up. Other times I go home and I can't sleep for 2 days because I'm high as a kite. Like when I leave those beaches and it's me and I'm like the man and I have 1,000 people. I mean, I play an event in Valley Stream where 6,000 people show up.
Wow.
My son and I, and we hold down 6,000 people playing music, just the two of us. And I go home and I feel like maybe Elvis. And you know, because it's like, wow, why are you listening to me? I'm an idiot. You know, like, what are you guys are out here, you're dancing with us, and at the end of the night, you want to tell us how great we are. And it's like, that's the best feeling in the world. That's better than having money in your pocket. It really is.
Now,
know?
you just brought up your son, and we were
Yeah.
talking about him before the
Yeah.
show started. So your son is also in the music
Both my
business.
sons. My one son lives out in Los Angeles, California. He lives right above the Staples Center. He just came to visit me. That's my oldest son. He moved out of the house like 20 years old. Started his own clothing line. This is called Omerta.
That's cool.
If you know what that means?
No.
Okay, Omerta is the
I just
and
like-
as if you could see,
I like the
there's
sparkle.
Marlon Brando on the side. So Omerta is the code of silence that you have to take when you're in the mob. So you have to take this code of silence. And we also, you know, being Italian American, we have to take this just so we can eat macaroni on Sundays at grandma's house. If you don't take the code of silence, you're not allowed. I'm joking, Mandy. You can smile a little bit. So he started this clothing line. I gave you the web address. If we could read that off, that would be great.
So you said that's getomuerta.com?
Yeah, getomerta.com. Or you can go to your Instagram and it's just, what is the Los Angeles? Los Angeles. So you could just go at Omerta, Los Angeles, Omerta, Los Angeles on Instagram. And he's got beanies, he's got pullover shirts, all of them with this style, the rhinestone. He's got sweats. So if you have like 20-year-old kids that are like into the hip hop and stuff, so that's his clothing line. The other thing he does, he's a rap artist and he's open for huge acts. He's played the Paramount, Lincoln Center. He opened for Little Uzi Vert, who is a huge rap artist. It's the worst music you can listen to, honestly, but he's really good at really shitty music. But he's very
Mandy
good at
might
it.
like.
You know?
Do you like rap music?
I know a decent amount of hip hop, honestly. What does he call himself?
He calls himself
what's his name?
NSG Hollywood, New School Genius Hollywood.
NSG.
Cool. That's
Yeah.
a cool name.
Yeah, New School Genius. He's no genius, believe me. He's no genius. He's my son. What kind of genius is he going to be? Our genes only go so far. He's no genius. Then my middle son is
He's genius enough to do something he enjoys doing.
smart enough to move out of my house. That was not genius. That was smart. And then my son Vincent, he's a music producer. He goes to school for music. He works with all computer programming, makes music. He's a bass player, guitar player, piano player.
Wow.
And he's actually created music for my son. And the two of them collaborate.
Oh,
and they-
wow.
yeah.
We'll do the samples and
Yeah,
stuff, and then the
yeah.
other one. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, and then I have my little girl Gia. She's going to be 20 on Friday, the 16th.
Wow.
Yeah.
My daughter's going to be 22 on July 20th.
Beautiful. Isn't it nice though? And when they're good, and you know they're
Yeah.
good, and you know what? I mean, nothing better than being a parent. We could talk about everything else, but really the ups and downs, nothing better. I know you have a tougher situation than me in ways, but you know what? The satisfaction of being a mom and a dad, you know?
Yeah.
It really is.
My daughter is, she's a twin. So it's both their birthdays. But I always
Wow.
say, you said my daughter, so that's why I
Yeah,
said, but it's
yeah.
both their birthdays.
God bless.
So
God
Nancy
bless.
Weems is saying New School G. I'm not quite sure what that means.
New School Genius. That's just
okay, that's-
NSG. New School
So
Genius.
she's trying to
Hollywood.
clarify.
Oh, so if you go on, you could just go on Instagram and just go at NSG Hollywood or at New School Genius, and my son will come up. And check out his music. Maybe you got teenagers or something, or you just into hip hop. Fat Jay loves it. Jay Christopher loves my
I
son's
love Jay.
music. Yeah,
Jay's awesome.
He is a good comic.
I love Jay.
And he's a good dude. And Jay's going to be with us this Tuesday night. We're going to be at Off Key Tiki. So it's going to be Frank Macri, myself, Billy Mira headlining,
Ooh.
and Jay Christopher. And we're going to be Off Key Tiki from 7 to 9 this July 20th, this Tuesday night.
Wow.
So it's going to be a fun show. So if anybody's not doing anything, please come down. Anne-Marie that produced the show will really appreciate it. And so will we. And if you never saw Billy Mira is a very unique
We've
act.
had him on the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
He came with a bodyguard.
Billy, nobody can do what Billy does. Billy's
he was
voice is
awesome.
tremendous. He does crazy impressions. He's from the Howard Stern show. He had his own Las Vegas show. So I've worked numerous places with Billy. We did Gateway Theater a few times. things as small as block parties, turned them into huge events to Gateway Theater. And we did with Sal Governale at Governor's Comedy Club. It was, what do you call it, with the heart in February? What do you call that? I forget.
Valentine's Day?
Yes, my wife, she loves me. I forget Valentine's Day. See, it's not a lie. Valentine's Day, Sal Governale, Billy Mary, Carrie Kravitz was on the show, and Sal the Voice. So we did a tremendous show at Governor's with Billy. So, yeah, come down. July 20th, off-key Tiki and Patchogue. You want to be there. 7 o'clock.
Real quick, Bonnie and I have one sponsor to announce, and then we'll be right back with you.
Okay, so our sponsor is Keys Love Jewelry, stainless steel jewelry, all nickel and tarnish free. Keys Cutlery, knives and swords, and self-defense equipment. Excellent quality for reasonable prices. You can shop online at keyslovejewelry.com, keyscutlery.com, or you can visit Key and his beautiful wife Teresa at Lala's Flea Market, 1075 Portion Road in Farmingdale. If you want to contact Key for any reason, it's 631-379-1781. And they are beautiful people. They have an amazing business. They've been doing these motorcycle shows regularly in the summer. You can meet them at those things. But their jewelry and their self-defense equipment is amazing. That's it.
Perfect. Yes, thank you, Key and Teresa and Bonnie.
And Nancy Weems is saying genius to you.
Genius.
Okay.
You're getting a lot of compliments, John.
Oh, I like that. That's cool. Hey, listen, you know what? People are nice people. You know, there's one thing with me. Like, I go out every day. I just try and be nice to everybody. That's just who I am. You know, like I said, I was a 31-year UPS driver, and you kind of learn a lot about any business when you're providing to the public and servicing
Is that
the
like
public.
from King of Queens? Like,
it's so funny. Going back to Uncle Artie, when I was a UPS driver, Kevin James, now I started.
Maybe he got the idea from you.
He did. Listen, we swear that. I swear. 1987, I started with United Parcel Service. 1987. Back early 90s, I became a comic. Started becoming a comic. I can't call myself. I was an open micer. Kevin James wasn't even known yet.
Once you say you're a comedian, you are a comedian.
I guess compared to now, I would say, I guess back then I didn't feel it. Okay. Arthur John Piazza was the first one to tell me, you should cash in on UPS customers. Make fun of those customers. I'm like, oh, you're crazy. Nobody's going to. All of a sudden, Kevin James, 1992, wins the K-Rock Comedy Festival, blows up. He's huge. He becomes a big hit, Kevin James. And then he gets King of Queens, the show based on UPS. And here I am actually delivering packages for like 12 hours a day.
That is amazing.
So I never watched that freaking show. I never watched it.
And I've watched them all like several
times. I love him, and he's a good dude, and I love the show. And now I'll watch it. But back then I was like, I'm moving a hand truck for real, and I should be telling jokes. But that's the way it goes, you know.
What did he do before he became famous? Like, did he have a day job?
I really don't know.
I don't know either.
Couldn't tell you.
I saw him at the Little Room more than once because he uses the Little Room at Governor's to practice his set. And a couple of times, either I was in the audience supporting friends, or I was like, you know, on the lineup, and they just bring him in, and he wants to practice his set, not in the main room. He wants to practice in the little room because it's new material, and he just wants to try it. So he wants, like, you know, 60 people, whatever it is in that room. And everyone's like, holy crap, it's Kevin James.
It is a big deal.
It is a big deal. And then you're not allowed to take pictures, and, you know, it's just like.
I'd be lying if I said we were like friends. He'd probably, if he was watching this right now, which would be great for you guys, be like,
Carrie called him out. She was talking to him on ours, right? What did she say? She said a couple of things.
I mean, I went backstage with him, you know, his show. And
Harry Flex dropped saying Bonnie's funnier than Kevin James. No, I'm not. But Carrie, I love you for saying that. I'm not funnier than Kevin James is.
Look, think about who came from Long Island. You know, big names.
Everybody.
From Billy Crystal. I go back to Oceanside.
Billy Crystal's from Long Island?
Oceanside.
I didn't know that.
Eddie Murphy, like, I think Uniondale, Roosevelt area. You know, all the big comics, they all come from
Jerry
here.
Seinfeld,
Massapequa. You know, Rosie O'Donnell, another big name. Big girl, too. But, but you know, so many, you know. Martling. It's so funny because Jackie Martling, I was a big Stern fan, and when I was getting into the comedy and I really loved it, I sent him a tape, and Martling called my house, and he liked it, and he was going to sell my jokes to Rodney Dangerfield for me,
Wow.
And my sister answers. She's like, some dude jacking. I was still living at home. I was a kid. I was like, Martling's on the phone. I was like, stop. I get on the phone. And it was Martling. And he called me. And I went to the show to thank him at Governor's. And he was doing the jokes that I sent him. I was like really pissed off, man.
He memorizes stuff.
Yes, he does.
That's what he does. Is he doesn't create his own stuff, but he's got an amazing memory, and he can recall any joke. And when people try to stump him, like they start telling us a joke, and he has to finish it, he can he just can pull it out of his hat.
Absolutely.
And I've seen him perform a few times, but we were gonna have him on the show. And then COVID hit.
You should get him back. He's very, very
we
funny.
should.
Yeah.
You know?
We should.
He's great.
Yeah.
You know, you should get him back, but it's just a funny thing. You know?
He'll be at the Bob Nelson show.
Yeah, so we'll talk to him.
22nd. So if you guys don't have something to donate for the baskets, there's a link online. You can donate money or just go to the comedy show.
I'm donating. So if that means anything, I'm donating something.
Good,
I don't know what, but I'm donating something.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You go first.
No, one of my things I was going to ask you about when you were talking about DJing, do you bring like lights and
Oh,
all
yeah.
that kind of
Oh,
stuff
my God.
as well?
Do you
Like,
give
if you
stuff
have a
away to the
photo booth?
audience?
Well,
do you
here's
do?
the thing. The giveaway stuff is kind of
T-shirt
like
gun.
Good question.
yeah. I mean, when you're doing a bar mitzvah, you're doing parties that call for it. The giveaway thing was more of a thing of the past. We still do it, but now you got robots that kind of make T-shirts and give. You got all these crazy things.
And also, is COVID like a factor?
Oh yeah, I'll tell you about everything. So
I want to hear.
do we do lights and all that? Yeah, the business. I'm linked in this business where if you call me, I can do a very small personalized party, just play music, and of course lights. Every DJ's got lights. But then I'm linked with big companies like Sonic Boom Productions, where we do dance floors, we do outdoor furniture, patio, lounge furniture.
Oh, wow.
We have super booths, photo booths, video screens. We do the montages. We'll link you to photographers. We do everything. I hate giving out giveaways. Like, I cannot stand going out there with glow sticks. And
Don't you just throw it at the people?
At this point,
Throw it at them.
There's a few people I throw extra at sometimes. And let me
If
tell
it
you
hits
something.
them in the head, so what?
If you're out there and you hire a DJ, don't hold the reins too tight. Let the DJ be the DJ.
Yes.
Some people want to just hold the reins and don't let me be me. And stop requesting freaking songs when my head is in the headphone coming up. And don't spit beer on my face at this point. That is the worst. People
People spit beer in your
they don't
face?
mean it. They're drinking.
Yeah,
They want to
yeah.
rest their drink on my speaker. They got it on their breath.
Oh, and
And
they're
they want-
requesting and they spit at you.
Because I can't hear them.
Yeah.
The music's loud. I got one ear available, and you're yelling in it, and now that your beer is hitting me in the
Oh my
face.
God.
You know, and usually it's the freaking tap beer. It's not even a good beer. You know, you're at the Moose Lodge and you get this freaking old canister of tap beer, and it's hitting me in the face. And I cannot tell you how many times during a party I wash my face. Like I'm a
Wow.
germaphobe, too.
You have to bring the wet wipes. Pat Marone is watching.
Oh, I
he
love
said,
Pat
Johnny
Marone.
boy, how you doing?
I love Pat Marone. He is just great.
Robin said she wants you to donate your undies.
You don't want my wife will donate all of my undies, believe me. Lisa will donate all of my undies, trust me. I'm no Tom Jones, believe me, under here.
Pat is giving you accolades. He's saying Johnny is a great entertainer. He loves
Thanks,
what he
Pat.
does.
I do.
Yes. I watched him on the in the
Thanks.
COVID.
And Pat is
Pat is
truly
amazing.
funny. He is amazing. He's a good
Great.
friend. He's
He
a
was-
good comic.
He
He's
was
great.
talking. Carrie was talking about having a bake-off with him. We want to be invited to that.
Oh, yeah.
Carrie Caravas versus Pat Marone in a bake-off.
That would be tough because I went to a Carrie party where Carrie made all the food. And Carrie's got a sister, Argie, I think that at that time, I think me and Argie could have danced together a little bit. Argie's cute. Her sister Argie is very cute. And but I'm married. I don't do that. That's one thing. I will talk about my marriage. That's one thing. 28 years married. I do not mess around with my wife. I'm making that clear right now. And maybe you'll tune out if you hear that. But I don't give a shit.
No,
But,
that shows you have
but-
values.
Great.
But Carrie can cook, man. Carrie's got that Greek mother cooking thing going on.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, trays,
But
endless trays.
Pat is great at cooking too.
Oh, absolutely.
That would be some contest.
I love Pat. Pat's a good dude. What's up, Pat? We're gonna be giving you
Arthur John Piazza is saying, donate your firstborn.
my firstborn. That's my son John that lives in L.A. Thanks, Uncle Artie.
Arthur.
Yeah, he's got to behave. I'm
Well,
gonna donate my Uncle Artie.
yeah, so Robin's saying, nah, kids are a pain in the ass. They are, but
That's because we don't hit our kids
there
anymore.
are
You
pains
gotta-
in the ass.
You don't hit your kids. See, we should be allowed not only to hit our kids, we should be allowed to hit other people's kids. You know, like my father. People say your father hit you as a kid. They're shocked. I'm like, yeah, he hit me once with a freaking Buick. You know, Believe me, hit? Are you kidding? My mother got her brothers after me. Forget about hitting me. You know.
Now Frank agrees that Pat Marone is a great cook, so that would be a good cook-off.
Yeah.
Jan Brenner is saying he's very upset about Bob Nelson. This is the first time he's hearing about this. He and I worked at the White House together at times, and then it comes up the White House again.
Yeah, but Jan is another old. I don't want to call him old, but Jan's been around. You know, talking this stuff goes back, man. Long Island comedy, Long Island history of comedy goes back into the '80s, and Richard Dixon was a huge part of it. John Glenn, again, a monster part of supporting public, arts and comedy and all this. And you know, I wish you guys were a little bit older, around a little bit longer, to understand why, everybody that comes out, why I don't say I was a comic back then. I wasn't a comic. I was trying to be. I was aspiring to be. Now I have a little bit of a name. But again, I'm not on the level of some of the people that I would like to be. In my own way, they can't do what I do, but I can't do what they do. So, I know where I am, That's the key. You got to know where you are in this business. Don't fool yourself, and don't try and... It's going to come out when you get up there. Like, shit, I don't belong up here for an hour. I'm not an hour comic.
Oh, yeah.
After 20, 25 minutes, I kind of peak out. You want to call me a feature? Fine. I'm a good host. That's where I belong. I want to bring you up from the dead, waiting for something to happen. I want to go out and grab you. And that's my niche. That's me. And I think most of the people that know me on there know, like, yeah, that's what John does best,
And honestly, no matter how funny you are, once you start going over a half hour, people just lose interest. Like, even hardcore comedy fans, like, when it gets too long of a show, it's really not even the comic.
Yeah, the problem is it depends on how much was on before that guy that can do an hour.
Absolutely.
That's why Frank Macri and I don't do 10 comics. And again, the guys that are producing out there that you do that, I'm not bad-mouthing anybody.
We're fine-tuning it and making it 5 minutes each, so that the headliner has fresh.
That's even tough when, because it's very hard to win over a crowd in 5 or 6 minutes. Sometimes, listen, the formula is, every minute you should have 5 laughs per minute, formula-wise. But sometimes 5 minutes just isn't enough, depending on the lineup and the spot, or the guy before you or after you, blah, blah, blah. Frank and I, that's why we keep it just the MC, maybe a beginner or somebody that's not as popular, a good feature, and then boom, we let that killer comic like a Carrie Kravitz, Jeff Norris, Teddy Smith bow you over. Stevie GB, one of those bigger guys, they're going to come in and just going to belt you. If they need that hour to do it, you're not going to lose interest because you didn't get killed the whole way up. The whole ride didn't kill you.
Right.
Well, we're kind of like socialism for comedy. So we're trying to give everybody, if they show up to our show and they support our show, we will put them on our show.
It's a beautiful
thing. But we're not putting like 20 comics on. We're keeping it an hour and a half, like Mandy said, because that's when people lose interest. The headliner gets 30 minutes. Everybody does 5, and we have guest people and. But I just want to say hi to Camera Jockey.
Bruce is the best. He comes to everything.
I love Bruce.
He's selfless.
I discovered
He's a
Bruce,
selfless
by the way,
guy.
at Coaster's open mic. And right, Bruce? Is that I don't want to take credit if I don't deserve it.
He's a selfless guy, man. He comes out,
best.
he brings the equipment. He's just a nice, quiet guy.
He's so sweet.
He takes great pictures, shares them up. See, we need people like him, and he doesn't ask for anything back.
No, he's genuinely a decent person.
And that's what we really need as like comics. Like I've done so many shows where I'm like to my husband, I'm like, "Oh, you got a picture?" And he's like, "Oh no." And it's like, granted, I was in a little bar with a dartboard next to my head. It's like it didn't happen if there's no picture of it. Yeah. There's even like on my list of like flyers on Facebook. I'm like, I've done more shows than the amount of flyers that are even in this little folder here. I'm like, what the hell?
But that's the stuff that makes you. That's the stuff that makes you. Those dartboard rooms. Rooms that people aren't paying attention to you.
Oh yeah.
Frank Macri
we did one recently.
That happens. But what makes you better is barreling through the tough moments and getting through them. Frank Macri had pizzas being delivered. He didn't order them. A group was delivering. A pizza guy came in, and now everybody's interested in the pizza. And Frank is up on stage. Worst timing ever. What do? It makes you better. So it's not your fault. Right. You just do what you can, and you just strive to be good. You just do the best you can.
We were in, I'm not going to say what show it was, but we were in a show and there was a guy drinking at the bar and he kept shouting out things. But he liked me and Mandy.
Oh, yeah, but he just wanted to be involved. It was one of those.
You know what show I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I think the 5th guy was like, all right.
Oh, finally, my boyfriend shows up.
Where is he?
Where have you been?
Where is he? Tell me more about you two.
By the way, I'm talking about John being my DJ, I'm having a birthday party in March on St. Patrick's Day, and he thought it was a wedding.
I thought you were going to get married. I thought, she said, can I say what you said?
Go ahead,
I ain't
say.
going through that shit again. That's what she said. It's so funny. I tell them, and I have 3 kids. I'm married 28 years. So Lisa and
I was married 27 years, and I'm in a 2.5-year battle to get divorced.
Wow, that's rough.
And he's still living in
There'd
my
be
house.
no divorce. I just dig a 2-foot hole in my yard, fertilize my plants with you. We're not getting divorced. That ain't happening.
Yeah.
I retired young. We got married in 1992. We were married, and
I've seen photos, so I know.
I love my wife. She's so beautiful. To this day, she's just gorgeous.
That's so nice. That you
She
say
really
that.
is, though. She's just beautiful. She's a beautiful girl, and she stays young, and she's really a really good mom, and we have a great relationship. So, with that being said, at the table, sometimes I joke around my daughter mostly, and I say, if something happens to me, your mother's better off. I leave my wife my pension. I leave her my 401k. I bought her a freaking monster life insurance policy.
My ex is coming after my pension. That's why it's been 2.5 years.
So she goes, "What if can mom get remarried?" I go, "No, mom's not even allowed to date after I die." She goes, "What are you gonna do about it?" She goes, "Don't you want mom to be happy?" I go, "If I leave her all that, she'll be freaking happy. I'll be a ghost, and she'll be happy." I go, "Absolutely not. Do I want your mother?" And I said, "I'll tell you right now. I will come back and I will haunt my wife. Any man getting undressed in my house."
The Sixth Sense.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, I never saw it, but I'll come back as the family dog, and I will literally hide your shit. You get a goldfish, I'll be the goldfish in the bowl, and I will watch everything. I will.
That's so romantic.
Listen, man, there ain't nobody else. Especially, let's say my wife gets remarried or dates, and the guy comes out and he's got a freaking schwazzle like this, and that's only half the size of mine. That's only half the size of mine. I feel bad for her. No, there's no way. Lisa, if you're watching, you are not allowed to date. You're not allowed to get remarried. No, I'll be a ghost. You'll be miserable, but you'll be rich. And you just take that money and be miserable with your money.
Wow.
So that means that's the same for you then.
No, I'm fooling around. I'm absolutely fooling around. 28 years, a guy not messing around with his wife? No. If something happens to my wife, maybe like 3 days later.
Or maybe like she's in the hospital.
Absolutely.
She's not even dead.
I may even call one of her cousins. I might even call a cousin. I don't give a shit.
Oh my Lord.
I'm messing around, man.
This show has just taken a hard left.
It is what it is. It is what it is. I've been a good boy. I've been a good boy.
We're not going to have to figure that. We're not going to have to wait for that.
Robin goes romantic or controlling.
Yeah, both.
Yeah.
Both. No, I'm not controlling at all. She actually wears the pants. I always say, in my house, if it was like
she
a deck
always
of
looks
cards.
happy in the photos.
She is, man. I take good care of her. In my house, a deck of cards, the queen is higher than the king. That's the way it is in my house. And but you know what though? And she's a very understanding woman, because don't forget, my whole life, our whole married life, I've been in the entertainment business, whether it's DJing or comedy. And she always understood. I give up Friday night, I give up Saturday night, some Sundays.
Yeah.
And never a problem, never a jealousy thing. Who'd you talk to? What's this? What's that? And
that's good.
And women are worse than guys out
Oh my
there.
God, women
You
are
think?
dogs,
Women are
honestly.
worse
Me and
than
my husband
guys,
were talking
man.
about this. We were talking about this the other day.
Absolutely.
He was like, it's so horrible. Like, they
Women-
really are. And no one even gives a second look. Like, women will look at people. Women are just
They
gross.
don't care. They don't care.
Like,
And-
men at least try to hide that they're being dogs. Women have
Nope. No shame at all. And thank God Lisa's a very understanding person, and it made it easier for us to make a nice living and let me be me and do what I do. And I just, you know what, it's just, I'm not that kind of guy. Like, if I'm your friend, I'm your friend. So we're married, and I don't know, I'm trying to sound mushy like a bullshitter on here. I wouldn't do my wife dirty, because that's my friend in life. That's the person meanwhile, right now, she's probably banging the pizza guy.
She's not watching the show.
No, she might not know how to get the link. But I don't, like, even
Robin goes, that's because her boyfriend lives under your bed.
That's what I said.
Robin!
See, in a box. If he's under my bed, he's in a box. Remember,
Absolutely.
Code of silence, omerta. You know?
Oh my God, Nancy was just saying, oh shit, I got a beta fish in the tank.
Beta fish?
Because Nancy Weems, I believe, is a widow.
Oh.
So yeah, you got your husband there reincarnated.
Absolutely. Watch what you do in front of that beta fish.
Watch the porn that you're freaking watching, Nancy.
Watch.
Oh, your wife is watching.
See? I'm glad she's watching.
Thank you, because I didn't.
I'm glad Lisa's watching.
Maybe I missed it.
Lisa knows, man. Lisa knows. We haven't. Thank God. I mean, we've been through a lot. You know.
28 years. I mean,
we've been through my son being a preemie, the first guy. My wife almost died giving birth to my son
Oh,
right
my
there,
word.
yeah, in
Wow.
ICU. And let me tell you something, that will give you a brand new respect for a woman, and that will give you respect for your spouse, watching them deliver baby, raising kids, 3 little ones in her arms. We've had house disasters, Hurricane Sandy. I lost my dad young. Just so many things like all families go through that we went through together. So, you can't turn your back on somebody that's been with you through thick and thin. You can't do somebody dirty like that. It's just, that's me. Like other people can, I can't. Even if you're just my friend, like I can't do you dirty. It's not in my nature is all I'm trying to say. I'm not some martyr or something. It's just, if you invited me on to talk about life as a party, this and that, I'm not really a party. I'm really a guy that just raised my kids.
Well,
my
you know
life,
what? Having a great home life is a party.
Yeah.
That's the best party of all.
Yeah, for me it is. I mean,
I'm learning that the best things are the real things, not the,
because you've been through it.
Yeah,
I've
and
been
not
through
the
it.
phony pictures
Absolutely.
and stuff, the actual conversations and so many things that, I forgot to take a picture of that or whatever because you're actually enjoying yourself.
Right.
My friend, she's having a videographer at her wedding on Friday, and I was telling her, it's really great. I said, you know what? Because I had put my friend's, she had it on a VHS. I put it on a drive for her so she could have it on the computer. And she's like, she got to see her dad walk her down the aisle. Wow. She had lost her dad that year. Relatives who have passed away, dancing
that's why it's important
and singing.
to do these things.
And that's what I said to my friend, and she goes, "Oh, now that you say it like that, I'm like, it really is special because it only happens once. You don't get to see everybody in that light because you're in your own head.
Oh, absolutely.
And then you get to see it from another angle, down the line or whatever. But it's definitely the life as a party thing is more a celebration. I even wrote it's not about being reckless because Jen had said something about that. Her mother, she's 25 years with a heart transplant, and her mom said something about don't be reckless, but live it up.
Right, because you never know.
Yeah, because it doesn't mean that you should party and waste
Right.
all your
Not
money
every
and
day
live
is
like
Saturday.
you don't have tomorrow, but you should enjoy the present moment.
I tell my kids, not every day is Saturday, guys.
Exactly.
Save Saturday for Saturday.
Yeah.
My wife, going back to her, she's actually funnier than I am. She listening?
Lisa, right?
Lisa,
you're amazing, and
thank you. She is. But it's funny. She's funnier than me, and my kids laugh because we do have the relationship where we
behind.
Oh,
she's the rock behind.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It takes
She's the
somebody.
rock behind the rock.
Absolutely.
But like if we argue, my daughter's sitting there, and I go like this to my wife. I'll give her the finger. She goes, "You two do the same thing to each other." Your mother does that to me too. We make faces. She goes, "Stop it now!" Like she doesn't even have to turn around. She goes, "Don't make faces at me." Like she knows. Like this is where we are in our relationship. She's very, very. We're just comfortable with each other. It's good. I got to a point in this age where. People might look on Facebook and say, "Oh, this guy's out all the time, and he's having a great time, and every night, Saturday night, he's partying. Look at the."
Dude, it's
Dude,
all smoke and mirrors.
I sit and watch my garden.
Yeah.
I take pictures of my vegetables. I'm a fisherman. I like to enjoy my backyard with my wife, and we grow vegetables and sunflowers. So if you want to think that life is a party, that's great. I'm in show business, business end of show business. The show is great, but there's a hell of a lot of business end to it. That, setting up equipment, being there, giving up your Saturday night, giving up your Friday night. It's not a complaint, but there's a business end of it. Hoping people are happy, getting paid, all kinds of things. So, life is a party, and I say, yeah, we're having a good time when the show is happening, but before the show and after the show, there's no freaking party, man. We're working,
It's true.
We're working.
Yeah, it's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. And even when you walked in, you're like, people don't even think about what goes into this stuff.
So Robin goes, this topic should have been a funny guy with a hot wife.
Yeah, she is. She is hot. You got to see a picture of her. She's beautiful.
She is. She's beautiful.
She's only like 5 foot, tall. But she's tough, man. Like I'm the calm one. Like if we get into it with somebody on the road, she's that little Italian one that's leaning over me. And I don't want I'm like, you're gonna get me beat up. Like, you know what I mean? Like stop. I don't like to fight. Don't be lean on your own horn, But that's her. She's like always ready. She never says a bad word about anybody. Like she doesn't go and like get with girls and start, saying stuff. She doesn't do that to anybody, but she's very real. say something to her. She will tell you. She will let you have it when she's ready. Like,
Well,
believe me.
it sounds like if she lets you have it, you deserve it.
Yeah. She doesn't bother anybody. She's
Yeah,
not
unless provoked.
no, unless provoked. When provoked, run.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, do you want to plug anything else? I'm not. I don't have a watch, so I don't know.
Yeah, we're
Sure.
just about at 8:30. Go ahead.
Cool. So Valley Stream, Incorporated Village of Valley Stream, that is my town now. Not that I come from there. I was hired by Incorporated Valley Stream. Every Friday night through the summer, I'll be on Rockaway Avenue DJing the car shows, weather permitting. So from 6 to 9, you could come to Rockaway Avenue every Friday night, and I'll be playing music, all kinds of music. You'll like that. I have, and I'll be posting them on my Facebook page, John Piazza, Piazza, all of my upcoming events. I have concerts that I'm not always present at, but I put the music concerts in. I'm the one who circulated and gave the venue there. So you'll see tomorrow night, Friday night we have Tribe. I have Shining Star, Vinyl Revival coming up. Go on my page and everything will be posted, and I'll refresh those posts. And then I'm at their pool, and I play almost every Saturday night at their pool, putting on
cool.
shows. We just had Jeff Norris there. I have Charles Ganji and Mickey May coming on the 24th of July. This Tuesday night, I know there's only a lot out here. This Tuesday night, I'm off Key Tiki with Billy Mira, Frank Macri,
Cool.
Jay Christopher, also known as Fat Jay.
What night is that?
That is Tuesday night, July 20th, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. off Key Tiki. I got so many things coming up that I think you should just go on my page. Frank Macri and I, Comedy Inc. We have September, big monster show in September, September 25th. That's coming up. That's going to be at the Lindenhurst Firehouse. That's going to be John Ivorone, Gene Trifolo, Teddy Smith. How does that sound? That's going to be a really good show.
Awesome.
Yeah, so thank you, girls.
Thank you.
you.
Can everyone
Appreciate it.
please share the show? Press the share button
Sharing.
right now if you
Sharing
haven't.
is caring.
Please share. Sharing is
Thank you.
caring, like we said.
Thanks for your
Everybody helps each
compliments and
other.
your love, guys. Appreciate
Oh
it.
yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you so much. Buy his son's shirts.
Please. And donate to the girls. July 22nd,
July 22nd,
Governors.
Bob Nelson. Baskets for, he's going through a hard time.
Big comics on that show.
Yes.